Hello, everybody. God, I just gave you the crazy eyes. Why did I give you the crazy eyes? I don't know. Happy Friday. Why do I look crazy? Am I looking crazy? You know what? I'm going to confess something. I just had a bunch of tortillas. I'm on a tortilla high. It's the sugar from those tortillas. Actually, not even that. I drank this as well. So, all right. It's a kombucha, and I'm feeling good. But I think it's really the tortilla chips. Anyways, a lot to talk about today. You are my fam. You are amazing. Thank you for spending some time with me. I really appreciate you. I am Perez Hilton, the queen of all media, the gossip gangsta, the original influencer, and I do this every single weekday, Monday through Friday at the same time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. Archer and Nicole are two amazing members of my fam. If you can, please become a member of my YouTube channel. And not everybody can, I get that. Excuse me, just burped. But if you can, I would love to chat with you. All of my premieres are member only mode. So I am about to switch this to member only mode. Bleep, blop, bloop. And we go. But when the premiere is over, everybody can comment. You don't have to be a member to comment. I hope you all had a lovely Halloween. I did absolutely nothing. I had some candy here in case people showed up, but they didn't. I was just Googling private school information because of Zoe Kravitz. Anyways, yeah, let's get right into it. As you may have heard, Zoe Kravitz and Channing Tatum split after 3 years together. They were engaged to be married, so that was pretty serious. And initial reports claimed that they called it quits because they grew apart. They weren't on the same page. Hey, Ryan. Hey, Housefly Girl. They did nothing. I took them to 2 Halloween events over the weekend. I already did my part as a dad. I don't believe you need to celebrate Halloween on Halloween. We did 2 Halloween events this past weekend. I took them to this dress up thing on Friday, and then Sunday we went to the pumpkin patch, and I let them eat all the cotton candy and caramel apples and popcorn and ride the rides, and it was good. It was fun. Anyways, a new report today claims that Zoe Kravitz and Channing Tatum split for the most part because they couldn't spend enough time together. They didn't agree on where to live. Zoe, for the most part, lives in New York City, and Channing, for the most part, lives in Los Angeles because he has a daughter. I think his daughter might be 11, around the same age as my son. And then I was Googling. I'm sure you all fall down a Google hole too, right? That's one of my favorite pastimes. I'm a professional Wikipediaer. I just love to learn or be reminded. So I was like, that's so weird. Like, why wouldn't Zoe Kravitz just be open to spending more time in Los Angeles? Wasn't she raised in Los Angeles? Doesn't she have family and friends there? Yes, Holly, it's actually a ripoff, a play on the iconic Nirvana shirt, but instead it says Rihanna. So then I went on Wikipedia and I found out that yes, Zoe Kravitz was born and raised for a bit in Venice, and then she grew up in Topanga Canyon, I believe. And then I saw that she moved to live with her father in Miami, but then graduated high school from New York City. And then I fell down this hole. I got off of Wikipedia And I was like, I had never heard of that one school that Zoe Kravitz went to in New York City. She went to this school in New York City called the Rudolph Steiner School. It's in the Upper East Side. And do you know how much this school charges? Oh my God. Like my brain still cannot process this. The Rudolph, if you go to their website, Steiner, STEINER.edu, they charge per child starting in first grade. Okay? Starting in first grade, they charge $54,000 a year. What? What if you have 3 kids or 2 kids? What? $54,000 a year? That's more than many colleges. Like, I don't know what, like the University of Arizona. I don't know why that one came up. Let me see. University of Arizona. I'm just so curious. University of Arizona. Let's see. Tuition. Yeah, that's more than the University of Arizona. That's freaking crazy. The University of Arizona, if you want to go there, it costs $38,000 a year if you're out of state. If you're in state, it's $13,000. Let me look up like, I don't know, Notre Dame, like a private, I didn't know that was a public school. Let's see, Notre Dame or Vanderbilt in Nashville. Vanderbilt University. There we go. Okay, Vanderbilt's more expensive. Vanderbilt is $60,000 a year. Holy crapola! Oh my God, $60,000 a year? God, I remember when I went to NYU in the 90s and I thought it was expensive then. What was it? It was like $24,000 a year or something like that. I don't even want to know what NYU costs now. Let me look. NYU tuition. Oh my God. Oh, NYU costs less than Vanderbilt? What the hell? NYU is $58,000 a year. That's a lot. That's a lot more than it was back in the day. Columbia actually seems to be the more expensive one. Columbia's $66,000 a year. Bonkers. Anyways, sidetracked. So, yeah, I could see that being true though, I guess, like if you're really seeing a future together with someone and if you just don't want to live in a different city, that could be a relationship ender, right? Sad. But just last night, Zoe Kravitz was spotted at a Halloween party. She doesn't seem too bothered, right? And the report that came out today alleges that the split was amicable, meaning nobody cheated, and they're going to be working on a new movie together in the next year. Hey, Adam. All right, speaking of couples news, a new report claims that Dave Grohl, who earlier this year confessed to fathering a child with somebody other than his wife, has called off his divorce. He had retained a divorce lawyer, but the very latest update is that he and his wife are making it work and staying together. Cool. If she can forgive, but she won't forget. What was that iconic line from The Hills? I forgive you, and now I want to forget you. I got to do that better. She was really into it. I forgive you. Yeah, that was the energy that she was giving us, Lauren. I forgive you. It was a very angry forgive you. I forgive you. And now I just want to forget you. Ooh, I channeled that. Ryan in the house. There's some holes in the house. There's some holes in the house. Or holes on the floor. What is it? Anyways, oh, God, I am so curious to see what happens. Cardi B, as I think I mentioned it yesterday, Cardi B is going to be speaking at a Kamala Harris rally tonight. I mean, I don't expect that it'll be another Madison Square Garden debacle because zero chance that Team Harris will let Cardi B go off prompter. She will be fully scripted and told that she needs to be on prompter and cannot veer off of that. Also tonight, you guys, I can't believe it. The very last stop in the U.S. Eras Tour, Indianapolis. After tonight, it's just Canadian shows. God, I really want to go to Canada to see it. But, you know, it is what it is. What a ride. 2 years, almost 2 years. All right. We've got a lot of Diddy to talk about. And then we'll get to Liam Payne. Your bestie's going to Toronto. How lucky. So I did a story earlier today on YouTube, which you may have seen that video. And I really work hard to try and make this live experience different for you all so that if you watch the standalone videos, you can still enjoy the live. And I had something pop up that I hadn't thought about when I made my video earlier today. So this guy named Countess Burgess alleges that the late Kim Porter gave him multiple flash drives with 11 videos featuring 8 celebrities, 2 of which were minors. And you know what? It just occurred to me. This guy, in an interview, speaking to a journalist, said that he had in his possession for the longest time CSAM. Do you know what that acronym stands for? CSAM. He had child corn. It's illegal to be in possession of child corn, no matter if somebody gives it to you. He knew it. This guy says that he watched the videos and he knew what was on there. The minute he saw that there were minors, he should have turned that over to the authorities, and he didn't. This guy just incriminated himself with these Diddy tapes. He just yesterday turned over these videos to the court in New York. There's, to me, no excuse for, he held on to these for a while. You want to know why? Because he's represented by that one lawyer who for weeks or maybe even months now has been doing the media rounds telling us that her client has videos with these celebrities on them. And now we're learning that 2 of the celebrities were minors, were child stars. I think this Countess dude facing a lot of trouble, legal consequences. There's rumors about who some of the minors were, and I don't want to talk about it because it's not confirmed. And it just doesn't feel right. It's just rumors. But one of them, I don't believe. One seems more credible, and the other one just seems highly plausible. I'll talk to you about the one that I just don't think is credible because I don't think it's true. But people keep speculating that one of the minors in these Diddy tapes is Jaden Smith. Do you really think? I understand that Diddy is, a monster. But do you really think he would assault Will Smith's son? Will Smith could have destroyed Diddy financially, taken him to court and destroyed him, smeared him publicly, destroyed him. I mean, I guess it's possible, but I don't buy it. I don't think it's a good theory. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see if this guy that just came forward that was a business associate of Kim Porter's, Diddy's ex and the mother of many of his children, it'll be interesting to see if he faces any legal consequences for holding on to child sexual abuse material. Speaking of Diddy, also, God, it's weird. Like, people are really monetizing the Diddy thing so much. The Daily Mail has launched a Diddy podcast. It reminds me of last week, I think it was, ABC and Hulu came out with the Liam Payne special. A Diddy podcast now, it just feels like it is a money grab. But they're doing some interesting things. On the Diddy podcast for the Daily Mail, they have this former model, a model who claims that she met Diddy back in 2000 in Tokyo, Japan, when he was still with Jennifer Lopez. And he met her and another model at a topless club. And he invited these topless club models back to his hotel room for an after party. And then surprised them when the after party was just them and him and nobody else. And this model claims that Diddy had Jennifer Lopez music videos on and was forcing them to watch Jennifer Lopez music videos as they got it on. But contrary to many, 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 many other people, this one woman who did name herself, let me look up her name. I mean, who cares her name? But she went on the record, she spoke on the podcast, Rachel Kennedy. She didn't do it anonymously. She claims that she wasn't forced to have relations with Diddy, that she did so voluntarily, that it was consensual in her case. But then things ended abruptly and badly when one of Diddy's bodyguards came in and, interesting story, Holly. Ooh, yeah, Diddy's bold. He makes bold moves. So Diddy's bodyguard comes in and interrupts Diddy in the middle of the action, and the bodyguard starts freaking out because he apparently had hooked up with one of those models the night before. So then he got really aggressive and violent. The bodyguard did. That tells you about the kind of people that Diddy surrounded himself with. Bodyguards are meant to what's the word? Protect, obviously, but de-escalate. Most good bodyguards, their first go-to is not to respond with violence. Nowadays, most good bodyguards are trained to protect and de-escalate, not escalate. Because if you escalate a situation, you potentially are getting your client into legal problems. If you assault somebody, your client could be on the hook for that. So the woman claims the bodyguard got very violent and shoved them and yanked them out of the room. And Diddy said nothing. Diddy did nothing to prevent that inappropriate removal and aggressive behavior, violent behavior. And that just says a lot about who his accomplices were. Because one of the reasons Diddy was able to get away with what he did for so long is because his employees were accomplices, period. They can argue that they were afraid of him or whatever, but they were accomplices. And was Kim Porter an accomplice? I mean, she's not around to defend herself or speak for herself, but I don't know. She's probably a victim, like Cassie. I would like to believe that, not an accomplice. All right, on to Liam Payne. Gosh, a lot of updates with Liam Payne. But as always, I really appreciate you all who watch my live videos. So I try to give you different and new information or takes or a different look at what I may have shared previously on YouTube. I made a video about this on YouTube, but I've got some new information. This is not confirmed, and it could be bad information, all right? It could be bad. But allegedly, the law or the way that things work in Buenos Aires is as follows. Liam Payne died now over 2 weeks ago. 16 days ago. Oh, thank you, Adam. Liam Payne died 16 days ago, and his body is still in the possession of the Argentinian government. His poor father has been down in Buenos Aires for 2 weeks, but ABC News reports that it is expected that the father will get his son's body to be able to be transported to the UK, where they intend to bury him there in the United Kingdom. What I have read, and it could be incorrect information, so if any of you are from Argentina or from Buenos Aires, and if you can fact check me, that would be appreciated. The reason I've heard that they're holding on to the body so long is because they expect to press charges against people. And the defendants would then be granted access through their lawyers or experts, like to perform their own autopsy or whatever, like I read that they're holding on to the body for legal reasons regarding possible charges in the criminal investigation. Actually, the initial report said that, but I got a little bit more elaboration on it. So whoever is charged, their attorney then can perform their own autopsy, look at it, et cetera, which seems weird because the autopsy, what if there weren't any charges filed for 6 months, right? What if charges are filed in 6 months then? You don't have access to the body in 6 months. Why do you need access to the body now? We know what's inside. We know what was inside. We know what he ingested. We know the examination of his skull and the injuries and all of that. It seems so unnecessary for me to keep that poor young man's body down there for so long. Awful. But another really interesting development, according to ABC News, whom I consider to be very credible, they allege that the authorities down in Buenos Aires do not believe that Liam Payne intended to end his life. They don't view it as a suicide. But there's a lot of conspiracy theorists out there who think, oh, it was those two women. Yes, this new report also confirms rumors that had been circulating for a while that on the day of his passing, Liam met up with two escorts. And then, I think I mentioned this in the video, refused to pay them. And a big scene erupted. I don't believe those escorts pushed him or were responsible. They might have stolen his Rolex. This new report also claims that a very expensive watch of his was missing from his hotel room, and that he was seen in security camera footage passed out with a bottle of booze in his hand in the lobby. Was it a bottle of booze? Let me look. I think it was a bottle of booze. Let's see. Yes, according to security camera footage, Payne was seen sleeping, maybe passed out isn't the best description. He was seen sleeping in the hotel lobby with a bottle of whiskey in his hand. Oh, yeah. And apparently, it's possible that the hotel also helped facilitate these escorts for Liam. Talk about service. Ay. In other news, oh, excuse me. That's depressing. I don't want to talk about that. But I guess Bruce Willis's wife, Emma, is very honest with their daughters about dad's mental capacities, telling them daddy's not going to get better. His wife, the mother, does not want to sugarcoat dementia for their daughters. Sad. What is it? He's like 64? Let me look it up again. No, 69. 69. Sad. More celebrities went dressed as fun outfits for Halloween. I think one of my favorites, did you guys see this? Hilary Duff and her husband, I think that's her husband, Matthew Coma. Did they get married? I know they've got like 3 kids together. Yeah, they got married in 2019. Hilary Duff and Matthew Coma went dressed as Benji and Joel Madden. And that's especially funny because Hilary Duff dated Joel Madden 20 years ago. That was cute. It's nice to see people being friendly with exes, and the older we get, the more time is a healer. So, yeah. All right, my friend, that's it for today. A lot of people are watching. Please become a member and support my channel if you want to live chat with me. All of my premieres are member-only mode. I would love to live chat with you, but if you can't, You can comment as soon as the premiere is over. Everybody can comment then. Hit that like button, share this video, make sure you're subscribed, and have a wonderful weekend. I appreciate you all. Mwah. Bye.